Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to your Monday night Talking Town Extra Time, the show that again puts the fans in control and gives them the platform to have their say on their football team. I'm, of course, your host, Martin, the Governor Lambert, and I'm flustered this evening. I'm going to be honest. I've been busy typing away on the Photoshop Prediction League, playing around with the graphics. There are so many new names this week. Unbelievable. It was 35 correct answers, and 22 of you correctly predicted the Norwich result. So Norwich have single-handedly meant my Monday night's just gone whoop. And cheers, Norwich. Thanks ever so much. Honestly, I don't even know if 2 pages for a table will cover it, but it's still all so congested. There was a new leader for about all of 5 seconds, and then I went down the list and the current leader had also got one right. So it's changed, then it changed back at the top. We'll get into that as we go. There is a new prediction set of fixtures. So if you haven't yet got involved, there's still plenty to play for. There's FN22 we're giving away in a couple of weeks. There's the overall league prize and a spot prizes. There was 8 of you that correctly predicted the Ipswich Town result. 8 of you bet against your own team, so to speak, I suppose, with the draw. I would have gone for a win if I'd put the Town result in myself. So 8 of you will be going forward to the live random wheel generator, and one of you will win the e-ticket for Never Lost at Home. Congratulations. The 8 people were, or are, I believe they still are, Curtis Yates, Joe Green, Ben Durham, Ian Houston, who, by the way, Ian Houston, this is a name that came onto my list last week. He is now nearly at the top of the prediction league table. That's how quickly you can go from being a new player to being one of the main players. Jeremy Crawley, Alfie Hughes, and Richard Moss. As if you got that one right. As if he went for a 1-1 draw. Might have a few words with you, Crunch. Josh Russell, welcome in, Josh. Are you going to join us tomorrow evening, Josh? You coming to the game? Matt Stannard, good evening. Tom James. This is bizarre. Has your account been hacked? Because he's one of my contributors tonight, or is he in the chat typing away? Colin Plum. Good evening, everyone. I will be late tomorrow as I have work until 6:30. Be at the Surf Ramsey statue afterwards, though, all being well. Good evening, Ben. Ant Steele. Good evening. Ant Steele, you're doing well in the Prediction League still. Mike D. Hi, all. Why on earth didn't Iorfa let Peacock throw? I know it was going on Saturday. It was brilliant from Bon, telling the crowd to be quiet. It absolutely. I've got the goal to show us again tonight. It was really that good. Emerson Fairweather, evening all. How many times have you all watched the goal from Saturday? I've only seen it a couple of times, to be fair. I've been a bit busy, but I'm looking forward to seeing it again in all its glory. Plenty to discuss. But as always, I can't do these shows without the wonderful 5th Stand TT Ultra members. So a huge thank you to. That's an old list, Martin. That is an old list. You deserve your legs tapped. That is also an old list. What are you doing, son? Have a word with yourself. That's the list of the current TT 5th Stand Ultras, monthly supporters. You can join this wonderful, illustrious, apart from Vicky Henderson at the bottom right there. I mean, that's not illustrious, but she's on there. But yeah, and Callie. I mean, but okay, you can join this list of people. But in doing so, head to Ko-Fi, support us from £5, £10, whatever your budget allows you to do, or one-off if that's more your thing. But yes, head there. Tom James with the eyes. Can't see Tom James's name on there somewhere. I have to look high and I'll look low and I'll keep searching. But yeah, whatever you can do, and you can cancel it at any point. That is the beauty of it. It keeps you in control. Right. No, that's an old list. So let's get into this evening. I've got, speaking of which, let's bring him in. Let's bring in our Vava Voom, our continental flair. He is, of course, Tom James, whose intro escapes me. So Tom, welcome in. Sorry, mate. I don't know where it is. It was there this morning and now it's gone. That's the sort of day I'm having. That's the sort of evening. It's all gone sort of Benny Hill meets Basil 40. Nobody mentioned the war, please. So we'll be great. But how are you, Tom?
I'm all right, thank you, mate. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Just a bit flustered, you know. That Norwich result, Tom, it sent me all a tither. Not because they didn't pick up a point or anything, because that would be silly, but the fact that so many people thought Everton would win 2-0. That was the overwhelming. 22 people thought that would be the correct answer. I've never had that on the prediction league, and most of them were new names as well because of the spot prize. So it's uncharted territory. Although you can't see your name on there anywhere, Tom. What's going on there?
I do keep popping up every week and checking where I am, but I don't think I've even made the second page of it yet. I'm that bad.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's only one person on there with a grand total of 0, and that is our very own Matthew Phillips, and that's only on there for stick reasons. To be fair, I mean, you know, that's just on there so we can keep prodding him into life. But I mean, Richard Moss got 6 points this week.
6. I think me and Matt need our own spreadsheet at this rate.
I think you might do, yes. Lee Brown, have you got some umbrellas tomorrow? I've got some umbrellas, 2 wonderful golf-like umbrellas. They're like big old, massive ones. They're great. I've just realised I'm not yet on Facebook, so let me just hook that up. But how's your weekend, Tom? Because you did a tell the fine people at home what you did this weekend.
Yeah, my legs are dead now. I did a half marathon yesterday, and I regret it quite a lot. But yeah, that was down in Hackney in London, and hence I wasn't able to watch the game on Saturday because I was just, pottering around London, just having water. It was a bit boring, to be honest. But yeah, it was all right. We got it done. And yeah, the first pint I had yesterday was beautiful.
Beautiful, and but not as good as the fine bottle of Away Days Hoppy Robson you've got in your hand there. That is Hoppy, isn't it? Is it not?
It's not an Away Days beer. It's a Tiger.
No,
it's all right. No, me and Josh have been talking today, so there'll be more stuff coming soon.
Good. Okay. Good. Now, we did speak yesterday very briefly because it was brief for a reason, because you said you did running for fun, and I can't relate to people that run for fun. I mean, when I could run, I used to hate doing it. So, but now I definitely can't do it. It's like, hang on, wait. Because I asked you, didn't I? I said to you, "Oh, okay. What charity are you doing that for?" And you went, "No charity." And I was like, back away from the keyboard and this one, Martin. It's a live one.
Yeah, I'm just putting myself through pain. But I think I said to you, if I ever do another one, it will have to be for a good cause because my legs are really killing me now.
I would love to be that sort of person that would do it. Like Eddie Spaghetti runs for fun. I'd love to be that person.
It's been good during training, though, because I've been listening to Talking Town back whilst I've been running, and then listening to the McCantley podcast as well. But I find they're really good just to keep you thinking about stuff whilst not thinking about running, if that makes sense. It just kind of like phases you out and it keeps you interested. So, little tip.
Chris Wardman has the teeth. How did he know I've had my... How do you know I've had work done on my teeth today? That's freaked me out a little bit, Tom, because I didn't tell anyone but the wife, and that definitely does not look like my wife. So I mean, she's under a fake account, but yeah, that's freaked me a little bit. John Buckley, sorry, couldn't say the watch post match show. Gav, good to meet you though. Good to meet you too, John. Will you be watching tomorrow evening's show, Tom?
Yes.
Not like the show, obviously. That goes without saying, of course. But I meant the game. The stuff we actually go there for, really.
Yeah, I'll be watching. Looking forward to it and catching up after only watching the highlights on the weekend. But I've seen and heard a lot of good things about the weekend, and yeah, I'm excited to see what people's lineups are for tomorrow as well.
I said in the pod, I am getting old. Yeah, I need to I forget what shit I spat what day, to be fair. Andy, please do your next run for the Epilepsy Society. Good shout. Good shout. Speaking of which, I do want to draw attention to somebody, a Talking Town community member, who is doing the London Marathon, would you believe, for a charity. He is, of course, our very own Chris. I'm going to drop the links in the chat now. Just have a look when you get a spare 5 seconds. If you're watching this back on catch up, the link will be in the YouTube comments. So jump there now. Use the link. Have a look. He's very close to his target figure. It's in memory of Tyler, and he's supporting the Lullaby Trust. It's a very important charity, a very important cause, and a very wonderful thing that Christopher is doing. As I say, I couldn't run when I could run. So to do it is something. To do it for a cause like this is another thing. So yeah, do get behind him. He has raised so far, according to this may not be up to date and correct, but he has raised £4,512.34p, and he wants to raise 5,000. So I think personally, ditch the ultra stuff I said at the top of the show, back that in. Let's get this guy to 5,000. Let's smash it. It's not that much to do. And I do know the Talking Town community, when we pull together, can do wonderful, wonderful things. John Buckley, big game tomorrow. Win only for me. Draw is not good enough. Good evening, Mark Downing. You've moved up in our prediction league. Right, you're here. Let's bring in our very own. It's going to lower the tone somewhat, because this is what she does. But it's our very own no filter Yorkshire V. Like, bar wouldn't melt in the intro, but we don't know it's going to be an F1 probably by the time it hits 13 minutes on the clock. How are you, Victoria?
Good. Yeah, all good.
Good. Obviously, you've rushed in from work. We do appreciate that. You were here before I was, and you rushed in from work. That's how that's how it turns out. But now run with lowering the tone, says Stephen Parry. I'm still waiting for the No Filter Yorkshire V Facebook Fan Appreciation Society group to start up on Facebook. You've got a big following, Vicky, for a reason. You're passionate, you're honest, you tell it how it is. We had a good weekend. I feel we had a good weekend this weekend. Yes, it was only a point, but it was a point that we kept hold of. We started the game with it. We should have had all three. We were the better side. We outplayed Wednesday, and we showed some resolve. How did you see it? Or how have you seen it since it's unfolded, since the weekend, Vicky, now sitting here? Was it a point gained, or was it two lost, or was it a bad result? Either way you look at it.
I thought it was a good result. I mean, it was goal of the season for me. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was good.
And I have to say, talk about lowering the tone. As that goal went in, I was getting ready for my second night out, and I was vomiting in a bucket as well.
There you go. Wait, there's that tone. There's that tone. Oh, yeah.
So it cheered me up no end, did that goal? Really did.
Michael Fitch, you could lower the tone. Sorry. You could lower the tone in your smoke alarm. Sorry, that got me. TJ, I don't know how you follow that up. But I'm going to ask you to anyway, while I try and pick this tone back off the floor. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it looked good. I was really impressed with Bon. Really impressed with Carroll as well. From the touches I saw, a lot of good play was dotted about. I think we can be a little bit disappointed we probably didn't win based on the chances we made, but I'm not, kicking ourselves that it's only a point. I think we just have to really smash Donny on Tuesday, really just to, show that we're here. But yeah, I think it's all right. No need to panic. I should say as well, I also thought of Stephen Parry on the weekend, not in a weird way. But my Airbnb in London, I got there about 8:00, and the smoke alarm, that it needed a new battery in it, and it was going off all night. And the person I was staying with was just like in their room the whole time, so I never saw them. And it was just beep, beep every minute, and I was just in bed like, oh.
You
Right,
see so many people say you never learn anything from Talking Town. It's no good. It's this, that, and the other. But we are a fire aware podcast. You know, Stephen Parry's fire alarm is really bringing it to the forefront. You go to a hotel, you're hearing their smoke alarm. If you've not heard your smoke alarm, you're thinking, I've not heard my alarm for a while. I'm going to go check it out because of Stephen Parry's alarm. We're a real fire first podcast. Did you knock at the door at all and say, "Excuse me, sort that alarm out, please"? Or did you shout, "Stephen"?
I might have done. But it was a really weird situation, so I just left it and fell asleep, I think. But yeah, I just heard that going off. I was like, Talking Town next week, yeah.
Gotta love it. It's connected to the electric. You can't do anything about it. Chris Woodman, beep. Graham Tate, no more excuses tomorrow night. I must win. Beep. There you go. You see, just when you think, how can we get Beep into a show? He presents itself. Penny, right. So Ben was in the chat. He's our fantasy king. He actually, before I go to Penny, I want to go back to the goal because it's so good. Let's get it. Let's just see it. Let's just see it. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice.
Fantastic.
It's a really good goal. I like it. A generational goal as well, because I've never seen it in my lifetime, and I doubt I'd probably ever see a goal like it for a good few years anyway.
Comedy value, 10 out of 10.
Oh, it has. It's become second nature, isn't it, to goalkeepers that, you know, do the old shoulder check, and obviously not to young Bailey Peacock Farrell, but they're great goal. But some of the talking point after the game, I need a version with the Damon Attenborough overdub. I do. But if you've not seen it, head to Twitter and find it. It's a really good, video. Really quite funny. I just not a massive fan of his voice, but anyway, that's another story for another day that may cause controversy in its own right. I am aware of what I just said there, and I've dropped it, and it's like a bath bomb. But we're gonna go anyway because Ben Moore, Fantasy King Ben Moore, did his own sort of droppage on Saturday with the team ratings, and he gave Matt Penny a 4, which got many people among the Twitter universe speaking. Is that too much of a harsh rating? I'm going to ask you both, or was he right? And if he was right, why? And if it was harsh, again, why? TJ, kick us off. Matt Penny a 4 from Ben Moore. Was that correct?
It would be very unfair for me to comment based on the footage I've seen. I only saw him out of position for a corner in those highlights. So if I go in on him, it's based on that clip alone. And I feel like that'd be quite harsh for me to say. But I would put Coulson back in anyway if he's fit.
Yeah, he's not going to be. It's 3 or 4 weeks on the sidelines.
Penny it is.
Sorry?
Penny it is then.
Well, yeah, Matt Stanhope is probably sitting at home right now screaming at the computer screen about Bailey Clement. You know, he loves the kid, thinks he should be playing left back. But Matt Penny, Vicky, 4 from Ben Moore. I think he just did it just for the rhyming, really. But what do you make of 4?
Well, again, I didn't really see an awful lot because my head was in a bucket, obviously. But
there's valid reasons and there's valid reasons.
I did say to you that man of the match had to be me because I survived that day, and I don't waver from that. But anyway, Penny, no, I think 4's a bit low from what I've seen of him, and I am basing it not just on Saturday, a couple of games before. I'd say solid 6.
Solid 6. What would you have given T?
I mean, I'll have to stick with the 5 because I don't know either way.
No, that's
it's the only fair way to put it.
You've seen it from the highlights, you know, that's absolutely fine. I will tell you now from the person who saw it firsthand how I saw it. And again, the chat is there for them to say how they saw it. It's also a live link. In fact, I will drop the live link. Otherwise, you don't have the live link. But there it is. Matt Penny a 4, yes or no? I'm going to say 4 on the whole is probably a correct score. 5 would probably be more fair, but 4 is what you give him. So I'm going to back him up with that 4. I don't rate Matt Penny one iota. Every single attacking move broke down when it reached him, either with a very overzealous cross or a shot that literally blazed over the bar. At times it appeared like he was so desperate to score for personal reasons, and that would be obviously he played for the football club last season, that maybe overthought. He wasn't thinking as perhaps, let's get this ball back into the 6-yard box. When it fell out to him, he would smash it and try and have a go at goal, and maybe he would have done that anyway. I don't know. That's not fair for me to say, but every time he did, it would blaze it over the bar. And defensively, I do not like Matt Penny going backwards. I do not think he's a good defender. I just don't rate Matt Penny. I think that's probably the most accurate sentence I will ever say for how I feel. So I'm going to stick with Ben. I'm going to back Ben up.
How was he linking up down the left side?
We had Fraser. Fraser would make anybody look good, because Fraser, as the graph that somebody, excuse me if you're watching this, put out today. The name escapes me when I'm live. ITFC Analytics, I think it might have been. Fraser makes things happen when he has the ball at his feet, and Fraser's a very tricky player, sticky control, and that's very easy to do. But I just felt it was going great until it came out to Penny, and then it would sort of go backwards, go slowly, or be sort of blazed over the crossbar. Simon says spot on, Gov, mid-table League One player. Yeah, mid-table League One player. I think that's probably the fairest accurate sentence. Yeah. But 4 on the day, I don't know. I mean, that's subjective, isn't it? Ben Moore, we had some conversation afterwards, didn't we, Gov? We both agreed it wasn't great defensively. I want my fullbacks to defend first, but it's not up to me. Fraser would make Dean Lewington look good. Well, there you go. Stephen Perry. Narrow's come down his side, so he didn't out wrong. I'm trying to think what their goal. Well, no. Their goal, technically their goal came down the right. So in that case, Junaid Danashian, does he get anything lower than a 5? Because it was technically the right-hand side. In fact, he's there. I'll bring him in. Mr. Parry, there he is. How you doing? Welcome in, Stephen. Long time no see. How you doing?
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, I'm looking forward to Saturday. I've ordered my tickets this morning, so
good man. Me and
the wife will be coming, so I have to scare everyone. My missus will start crossing me about. So I don't mind. Anyway, actually, no, I was watching the pod yesterday because I couldn't get on because I was out, so I watched it later on. And I thought there was a lot of criticisms of the team yesterday, and I thought that's not a bit. It's really. I think it's a bit unfair. The way I'm looking at it is the way we've played so far this season. Yeah, we started off abysmally. We started off very poor. We started off like we've got more holes in us than a sieve. The last 2 games, we've been solid. Mm-hmm. We got beat by Worlden, and I don't care which goalkeeper's in there. He's not saving it. Yeah, doesn't make any difference. We should have closed him down, and he wouldn't have got it. But it was a damn good shot. Fair play. So we didn't get beat by anything. Barring that was it. They had nothing else. They didn't even have, all the shots were like long shots, which the keeper were getting behind, corners in, which the goalkeeper were catching or punching out of the way. That was all they had. They had nothing apart from that. So I was thinking, we're a lot more solid at the back. And you get a run of form from being solid at the back. Now, maybe they're learning that and they're getting that and getting used to playing together. And that's where that's coming from. So I'm thinking everyone was saying, I don't think we should have accepted a point or a draw at all. But I thought to myself, 10 days ago, I think everybody would have took 4 points out of 2 games. Yeah. If you asked everybody 10 days ago, how many points would you want against Lincoln and Sheffield Wednesday? If you offered them 4, they'd take it. They'd snap your hand off. Yeah. But because of what's happened, we're criticising. I think we've got to be a little bit more global about it and think, look, just over a week ago, we were all going, we can't win an argument. Now, because we beat Lincoln, we're complaining we got a point against somebody who was in the championship last year. Let's be fair. They're not a bad side. I'd have Berry, on my side, and we kept him quiet, so much so that they took him off. 100%. Same with Barry Bannon, so much so they took him off. We nullified them immensely. And I think to myself, like, I know Wigan and Sunderland, they're winning, but it's only 12 points. And everybody says, oh, well, that's hard to catch up. Well, it's not. You know, we've got to play on both twice. Yeah. So if we win both of them, that's half of it gone already. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
If you look at it, in a global sense, if we've gone over our rough patch, they're going to have a rough patch. Everybody does. You know, is their squad depth good enough to cope with an injury crisis midwinter? Our squad depth probably is, but is theirs?
Bleak midwinter.
Yeah, but it's true, Martin. Everybody has a rough patch. You know what I mean? And it's how you deal with that rough patch. Have we had ours? You know, we were saying this time last year. We won 5 games in a row.
The year before.
We're going up, and we ended up mid-table. You know.
How did you see the fisherman's comments yesterday? Then
very negative. I know. He wants everybody. He wants us to win every week, but we're not going to win every week. Nobody wins every week. Look at United. You know, nobody wins every week. Man City's lost. Everybody loses. You know, I've never known a team win every week. So to think that we expect to win every home game, I think that's a bit naive. Sometimes we just don't. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. You know, I think we started off and we weren't getting the rub of the green. Yeah. And I think now we're still not getting the rub of the green. Some of them chances. Yeah, I know League were 4th bottom, but that's not the point. 4th bottom means nothing in September. I'm sorry. Let's see if we're 4th bottom. Yeah, in May, you've got a point. If we're not 4th bottom in May, which I guarantee we won't be, yeah, then it's a moot argument, isn't it?
All right, I'll bring it on in a second. We've got Sam Mabry. Penny got away with what would have been a very costly penalty if it was called. Penny would have got a 3. Matt Stannard, I agree, Stephen. It was all of us, and we didn't do what I was worried about, which was conceded before half time. If you look to last game's Bond would have scored those chances. Nor would have scored Saturday, says Mike the Fisherman. And even need to start making a winning a habit. Ben Moore, that's East Anglian, FFS. Bannon had too much space at times. Maybe we had no real defensive midfielder player. Penny has a mistake in him. Don't get me wrong. Didn't have much help as JD. Mark Downing. Penny's looks fine so far for me. So League One, not as if he's come up against Ronaldo, is an improvement on Ward. TJ, you've heard Stephen's comments there. What do you? Do you agree with Stephen in what he says? It's it's September, fourth and what doesn't count at this moment in time, or are you? We should have, we've dropped some costly points early doors. So yes, Saturday games you dominate, you've got to win in, particularly as you have dropped those early points. Where are you on it in terms of what Stephen's sort of been saying there?
Yeah, both of those points really. We have dropped costly points. There's no getting away from that. But I do agree with Stephen that it's quite early on, and I still think there's enough about us and the whole setup as a club for progress and for us to go forwards. If we get 7 to 9 points in the next 3 games, we'll be top half. We're top half. We maybe build from that onwards. I don't think it's panic stations just yet, and I think we just need to try and support the team where we can. I know it's not easy given the expectation that there was at the start of the season, but I think that's kind of what we have to do. That's just my opinion, but I think we need to just try and get behind this team because there is quality there, and I think we are enjoying it a lot more now. We just have to try and stick with it a bit.
Yeah, the beat beepers, they're out tonight, Stephen. They're out in support for you. We've got Dean Lomax. If you didn't know where we were on the league table, you wouldn't have known we're 4 from bottom from Saturday's performance and game. Roy said you took a lot of sense, Stephen, and then Dean says he always does. At Roy Clark.
It's not just a matter of, it's not. I just say it how I see it. Yeah. I'm an.
Say what you see. Say what you see.
I'm a northerner, so I suppose I'm a bit like out of the way. I'm not in the bubble, the Ipswich bubble, and I suppose when you're in that bubble, it's a lot harder to It's a lot harder to take yourself out of it. So I can understand why people want to win every home game. I can understand, because I've got friends who are Liverpool season ticket holders at Liverpool. They want to win every game, and they get, they're suicidal when they lose. It happens, But I get that. But I just see it as at the end of the day, I've seen all our matches. Barring Bolton second half, we were the better side in every game.
Yeah.
Actually, every game. Barring Bolton second half, where we just felt like a deck of cards. So I'm thinking it's always been there. It's always been like small margins why we dropped them points, and we dropped them points. We did drop them points. I'm not arguing that case, but it was with small margins. A goal missed there, a penalty missed there, an error there, and that's the reason why we were losing points. Now we seem to have cut those out now, and we seem to be getting a few more points, which is the whole point, and that's what Paul Cook was saying. Once we've ironed out these mistakes, we've got Morsey coming in tomorrow. Maybe he'll tighten up the midfield a bit more. Eduardo's coming back. He might be on the bench. Once we start getting some of these players back in, we're going to be a lot more stronger. We're going to be a lot more. We have a lot more depth. And I tell you what, I can see points be easy pickings. I'm looking at 7 points for the next 3. At least 2 wins to go.
And I think if we get 7 points, as in a win tomorrow, then you're going to be very vindicated and backed up in what you've said here, as I was yesterday. Because I think yesterday, in the way the show was going, I was the more positive. I was Saturday, I was Sunday. I think we should have won the game. Still can't believe we didn't. But if we win tomorrow, I do think your point over Mike's point will stand the test of time.
But I do see Mike's
win tomorrow. Mike's point will be the one that stands the test. Tomorrow's result dictates what Saturday's result felt like. Do you not think?
Yeah, in a way, I do see Mike's point. Yeah, we had enough to win that game, and we should have won that game. Yeah, parts of us didn't turn up. Yeah, we can't afford not to turn up. We have to turn up. Yeah, if that means forgetting a few things, like McMill says, forgetting a few things during the week on training to focus on the match day, so be it. But we have to turn up, and we have to be fully focused on the match day. We don't need to be fully focused during training. We need to be fully focused on the match day. So if that's the case, that's fine. So I understand why Mike was saying we should have won, and we should have won. I don't deny that. Bon had enough chances to win that game on his own. So let's not beat her in the bush. That game should have been there for the taking, and we didn't take it. So I can see Mike's point as well. So, but if we turn up, I don't see us having a problem.
Perfect. Stephen, as always, appreciate you coming on. Thank you ever so much. I'm going to bring on Lee in a second, who is in the eye of the storm. If Stephen says I'm a bit removed from it, so it can be a bit abstract, I'll bring Lee in. Obviously, I saw him Saturday. First of all, Facebook use of the season so far is frustrating in terms of results, but some of the football being played is the best I've seen at Portman Road. We're not far away. Mike, if you want promotion, you must try and win every game, for fuck's sake. Away games is good to get a point, but at home, we should be winning. Matt, I agree with the pumper, and we will pick up points in the next 3. Lee in the private chat of the VIP area said, we are 4th from bottom. Lee, welcome in. 4th from bottom. You heard the pumpers, Stephen's comments there. What do you make of it?
Well, I don't disagree, but how many times are we going to keep about if we win the next game, if we win the next game? I mean, we've won a game and drew a game the last 2, and we're still 4th from bottom. So it's not just you can't say we're going to win. Oh, if we win the next 3, we win the next 4, and we start to move up the table. There's lots of teams between us and the top 6 who are going to keep winning games. So this isn't going to be an easy fix, is it? It's not going to. The race has started to be run. We're in the league season. We can't keep dropping points at home now. So I sort of agree with Mike, and I can see where he's coming from. I don't totally agree with him that it was a bad game and all that sort of thing, because I thought I was royally entertained again, and it was a good game of football to watch. We should have won. Bon missed 3 gilt-head chances. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talk about Bon being one of our own and all this, and he is, and he's played fantastically, but he can't keep missing 3 chances like that every game, because we've got other strikers. Pigott is 25 goal a season man. If Bon keeps missing chances like that, then Pigott's got to come in at some point, hasn't he? Because we've got like for like as a replacement. So I think what he did on Saturday was fantastic, and it got him out of jail, if I'm being honest, because he missed 3 serious chances that I think Pigott would have scored 2 of those.
That's an interesting point you make there, Vicky. To come back on Lee's point there, so Lee, let me just get this straight. After a great start of the campaign, where he's not missed many chances, he missed 3 gilt-edge chances on Saturday. If that continues, you bring Joe Pigott in. Was that what you've just said? Did I get that right? Yeah. Vicky,
Yeah.
What do you think of Lee's comments there?
Nah. There's a reason why he's playing in League One.
Yeah. Good. Oh, she's gone. It's a good point. I think she was going to finish off. That was, he does miss chances, but I'm a bit. He's had a great start of the campaign, Lee. He's had one game where he's missed 3 chances. One game where he's missed 3 chances. You're a huge fan of James Norwood, where he seems to miss a hatful before he gets one.
Yeah, well, see, when we had Norwood last season, he was our only striker, wasn't he? Let's be honest. So you had to play Norwood all the time. He was the only one likely to score. With the squad we have now, what's the point of having a 25-goal season Joe Pigott if we're not going to play him? I'm not saying Bond. I'm saying if Bond continues to drop, he can miss chances. He's cost us points in other games. He's cost us points in other games as well. People have said it on here. He's won us games as well. Don't get me wrong, but there must come a time where we can't.
What is that time for
chances
you?
at home?
What is that time for you? What's your time period?
But if he misses 3 again on Tuesday, and we get beat, what would you do? What would you do? You would, if it's a goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper has a blinding game and makes 3 saves. He's paid to do that. The goalkeeper, Bond is paid to score goals. So if the goalkeeper keeps 2 clean sheets and then goes on a run where he lets one through his legs every week for 2 weeks, he's going to be out of the team, isn't he? And you're going to bring your other goalkeeper in. So there just comes a point to me where we've got to use the squad, because Pigott's sitting there, not getting a look in. If Bond's scoring a goal every game, then I think he would sit there. If I'm Joe Pigott, I'm thinking I'd have scored 2 of those on Saturday, and I think he would have done. Okay. I think he would have done. So that's not that's just something that I'm seeing, and I just feel that way. That's not. No,
that's fine. That's your opinion, and you're very.
It's just we've got a squad. We've got a squad, and we've got in-depth squad. And if you're not going to use it, then why have all these other strikers?
Good point. It's a really good point.
I see Mike in the chat. Seeing Mike in the chat saying that Norwood would have scored those goals. Well, he may have done, he may not have done. But I mean, I think Pigott, out of the 3 of them, is more of a clinical finisher from what I've seen. Do you maybe subscribe to a bit of what Dean Lomax is suggesting here with his comment? Again, think the captain armband was too much pressure for him. Nice gesture of Cookie, though. Do you think maybe that put a little bit too much on the shoulders of Bond and made him play less free as he has been doing? He'll only know that. I don't think so. I just think that would have made him feel another foot taller himself. I think that would have gone out there and made him even better. Made him feel even better, I think. But he had the chances. I mean, the first one. I mean, we've seen goals like that scored against us, and every striker that's had that opportunity against us has scored, and we haven't. If you score in that first minute, Sheffield Wednesday weren't a great side. It was a good game of football, but I said before the game, didn't I? I said we were going to get beat. I thought we'd get beat because I just thought Darren Moore's teams are really good. And when we played Doncaster a couple of years ago, that was the start of the rot, and they played us completely off the park. And I was a bit disappointed in Sheffield Wednesday, if I'm being honest. Though some of that was down to the way they played, and some was the way that we stopped them from playing, because we are a lot tighter over the last couple of games. So that's been a real positive. But just going back to Mike's point, there is 2 points dropped. Mm-hmm. It's still 2 points dropped, and when are we going to stop saying that it's going to be all right? We'll start moving up the table. We're already 7 points off the playoffs, I think, aren't we, or something like that?
A good
top
chunk,
2.
yeah.
You've got more chance of Matt Phillips winning the prediction league than us finishing top 2 now. Honestly, there's too many good teams up there. We've got too much of a start on us. They're miles ahead. We would have to go on some sort of 10-game winning streak to even catch that up. And I think League One is too competitive for that. I don't. Each draw we get, each points we drop now, we're slowly slipping behind.
Okay, Tim Molden.
It's not being negative. It's just a mathematical fact, isn't it?
It is. No, you made some great points in there. Tim Molden, I don't expect us to win at every home game. I expect us to be positive. Hated it under Mick McCarthy when we were set up not to concede at home. It's where the performance is more important than the result for me. On performance and results, I suppose they don't always go hand in hand. But TJ, obviously these points there regarding Bond and Pigott, and he's made some great points. Pigott is a proven goal scorer at this level. However, for an under pressure manager, and that is what Cookie he still is, because fans are still or a section of fans are still saying the results aren't there, fourth from bottom, and all of that. And they're right. That is a fact. But if you turn up at Portman Road tomorrow night, or went to Stanley on Saturday, or whatever, and Bon wasn't in the team, and then you didn't record the victory, or the player coming in, be that Pigott or Norwood or whoever, didn't record a good performance, wouldn't that at this point just be providing more ammunition to the detractors of the manager than it would be helping his supporters? Because for me, myself, I think I'd be very surprised if I turned up, even after 4 games of one-on-one missed chances, and see Bon not starting. He's been our best player for me. But how do you feel, TJ?
Yeah, I'd be quite surprised if you drop your top goal scorer. I completely agree as well. He has wasted chances and they have cost us at times, but I just think he's intelligent and he gets himself in those positions to get the chances. And I think Pigott is a victim of us not playing with two up top, and that's not his fault. True. And the fact we're playing one up top and we've got a striker who is scoring, and you could argue also slightly not in form based on the stuff that he's missing, Pigott's just got to wait, and it's probably not fair because he scored so many goals last season. If he was playing in a 2, I think those 2 would be quite good together. But it's just the way it is, and one of them has to play somewhere else to fit the other one, and he's just a victim of the system.
Yes, Michael Finn said that earlier in the show, earlier in the comments, Lee. Maybe 2 up top would, them 2 up top could be a handy little 2. We saw it briefly back end of the game. Would you want to see that more going forward? Do you think maybe the 2 of them could be a handful if we're a goal down again?
Yeah, I've said that before about 2 up top with a different formation. I don't think the 4, playing 4-4-2 suits us particularly well. I think with the possession that we try to play, there's right times to use it when but when you do put 2 on, you've got to knock the ball up to him. There's no point playing the tippy-tappy, is there? You've got to knock the ball up. I think when Bond scored earlier in the season, when Hidlaki kicked the ball long, it was the first, Norwood and Pigott had been on the pitch for like 15 minutes, or whatever it was, and they hadn't even touched the ball. And as soon as we knocked the ball long, we caused them trouble, and we scored the goal. Sorry, not Pigott, Bon and Norwood. So I think when you have a plan B and you put 2 on, the team needs to know how to adapt, and you have to play slightly differently. But I think with the formation, I think we get hung up too much on formations, and it's more about how you play the formation rather than what the formation is. Because that team could easily be a 4-4-2 with a number 10 sitting behind a striker, but we call up 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
But it can easily be a 4-4-2. You've got 4 defenders, you've got 4 midfielders, and a half striker and a striker. So that can easily be 4-4-2.
Okay.
I don't really see a lot of difference in that, if I'm being honest. And a lot of coaches will tell you that. But just going back to your point on Cook, if I may, when you said about would he drop him? He's the fans' favourite, that sort of thing. If we've got a manager who would worry about that, I'm not saying Cook would. If we've got a manager that worries about things like that, then we're in deep shit, because he wouldn't pick a team based on what the fans think. He wouldn't. He's got to pick a team that he thinks is going to win the game. And I'm not saying he'll do that with Bon Man. I'm not saying he should be dropped for Tuesday night. But managers have to make tough decisions, and they'll do that on what they see. And if you've got good play, if you think Bon and Pigott are similar in stature and standard, then you've got an option there to change. And that's the great thing about the squad. In all our positions, we can do that. Just to sit there and say he's one of our own and he scored 5 goals. But if in the key games, your big strike, your key players will score you key goals at key times. And if you keep missing chances, then surely you've got to give someone else a chance.
Okay. Lee, as always, perfect to hear from you. I hope to see you tomorrow if you're at the game. Look after yourself.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow, hopefully. Vicky, welcome back. So we'll leave sort of Wednesday there. We'll bring Colin in a second. We'll sort of shift gears to Doncaster. We will get Colin's thoughts on yesterday, then Doncaster. A few comments first. Michael Finch, in that first half Saturday, Bond got down the right, put a blinding cross into their box, and there was no fucker in the box to convert it. So playing one up top doesn't work unless you have the wingers. Stephen Parry, that's why he will play till Cook thinks it's time to change. Dean Lomax, Fraser Penny sitting down the left in the second half was brilliant interplay. It truly was. Very quickly, the prediction league for this week is open. The link is in the chat right now. If you're watching this back, it will be in the comments section. But first, if you are watching this back, do look at the first link I post. That's the most important one. But here is the Prediction League this week and the games on offer. It isn't tomorrow's game. It isn't tomorrow. It is. No, it's not. It is. Ucklet and Stanley versus Ipswich, Crewe versus Cambridge, Colchester versus Salford, and Burnley versus Pointless Norwich. Those are the games. Get involved. League table is here. Rob Smith leads the way with 18. Mike Woods with 18, Ant Steele with 9, Trevor with 9, Stephen Davis with 9, Ian Houston, as I was saying at the top of the show, first entered the Prediction League last week, and came onto it straight away with 3 points, and now look at him, 9 points. He's pushing the top 5. Emerson had a great week. Richard Moss had a great week. Taylor Poole again. Simon Curtis. Huey Stannard. Matt Stannard is up there as well. And here is part 2. A lot more names, as you can see. And it's great to see so many names. There's a few. There's a column I haven't finished, look, as you can see. But you can guess they've all got 3 apart from one. Matt Phillips. I will complete those before next week. I do apologise, I run out of time. But where are you, T? Are you in there?
No, I didn't see myself. I'm probably on minus figures at this rate.
Vicky, well, no, you can't be on minus figures. Only Ben more than minus figures on anything. But Victoria Henderson, there you are. Look, you're hanging in there. 6 points. You're still knocking on the door of the top 5. You're doing well. But yeah, it's really still quite congested. The 2 at the top are starting to run away with it a little bit. They're starting to really pull away just because Norwich are shite and they get Norwich right every single week, it seems. But yeah, get involved. Ben, how am I doing useless on Fearsome 4? I'm top nearly every Super 6 because you got to get the score bang on. And obviously you're not doing it right with the Fearsome 4. But there we go. So how much money are you getting with the Super 6 then? Mike Woods. As a team, you can see more interaction between players as the season has progressed. We'll get lots more points and the squad has depth to give options when injury suspensions occur. Nice to see that you Talking Town guys have gelled this week. Sorry. Colin, how you doing, my brother? You well?
Hi, Colin.
Hello, how are we? You need a bit of positivity. We need a bit of positivity on this program right now.
We do. Here he is. And
my God, you're going to get it tonight, Mr. Gulf.
Okay,
you're going to get
I'm ready.
Now, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. I totally get that, right? But I think at this moment in time, we sit 4th from bottom of this league. Yes. Like has been quite rightly said over the last couple of days by quite a few people in the chat, we're playing okay, you know. I thought we played okay. I didn't say we was brilliant Saturday. We played, if anything, better, obviously, at Lincoln, I thought. But we're playing okay. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody put in the chat about a couple of minutes ago about watch us go in the next few weeks. And I totally get that, and I totally agree with that. I think when Mr. Morsey comes in and adds that little bit extra steel, and also when Mr. Edwards gets back, or I think he might alternate maybe with Selena because of Selena's illnesses and what have you, and maybe because of Edwards' injuries. I think they might alternate a little bit, but either or, I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing Mr. Edwards back for flying down that. Now, if anybody's going to tell me, or anybody else who knows anything to do with football, that we're not going to climb this league, you're living on a different planet to me, quite personally. Quite honestly, I should say. You're absolutely living on a different planet. We have got arguably one of the best squads in this league, and I don't care who I have this conversation with. I'll have that conversation with anybody, and anybody can prove to me that anybody in this league has got a better. I'm not saying similar, but a better squad of 19 to 22 players than we have got. I don't really know who that is. And I also think, like I said before, and it will come, we've just got to be that little bit more patient. Once we get those couple of wins, they're coming. That couple of wins, that snowball effect, and we will fly up this league. We won't go up this league, we'll fly up this league. I've had a little look.
It's that if word again, though, Colin, which is what a lot of people, Lee Anderson, the Fisherman,
but
it's the if. It's the if. And fourth from bottom is the fact, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But what we've got to remember is, and like I say, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and I respect that. What we've got to remember is, out of the top 10, as it stands at this moment in time, we've got to play 7 of those top 10 twice.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 3 of that top 10 once. So, in other words, the 7 out of the top 10 who we've got to play twice, and you've got to look at it from a positive. There's 42 points to play for from 7 of the top 10. You've got to have the mindset. This football club and this squad have got to have the mindset that they can beat anybody. And trust me, I think once this really clicks, we will be able to beat anybody. We'll be able to beat Wigan away. We'll be able to beat Sunderland away. We'll be able to beat Pompey away. We'll be able to beat all, those teams in the top 10. We'll be able to beat them away. We'll be able to beat them at home. But we have to have that mindset. And until this mindset gets into this brain with a winning mentality, right? That's what we need. And I think that will start tomorrow night. I'll forecast 2 or 3-0. I think defensively we're very solid at the moment. Burgess and Edmondson look fantastic. I think I'm not being nasty, Gav, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think everybody's being a little bit harsh on Mr. Penny. That's my opinion. Let's back the lad. He's in. He's going to be in for 2 or 3 weeks. Let's back him. We need him to be playing well. We don't need to be getting on his back, because if we get on his back, he will play bad. He's playing okay. I'm not saying he's playing brilliant. He's playing okay.
Colin, what score would you have given Penny then for Saturday?
I'd have given him at least 7. Personally, that's my personal opinion. But there again, I believe the East Anglian gave him 8 today. Now, that was Stuart Watson's opinion.
Yeah,
my opinion's a 7. And I think for somebody to try and say to me or whoever, it was a 3. I really don't know.
4.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I said 5.
But and also on the Bond point, yes, Piggott is a proven goal scorer at this level. That goes without saying. But I don't honestly, like I say, Lee, great lad, I get on very well with. What he said tonight, I did understand, but one thing I didn't understand is one thing I didn't understand about that is that you do not, at this moment in time, A, drop a player who's 3rd highest goal scorer in League One. B, you don't drop a player who, in the last 3 or 4 games that I've watched, especially at Lincoln, his closing down is unbelievable. His work rate is second to none. He loves the football club. The captain's armband, like Lee quite rightly said, grew him another foot. And, even thinking about dropping him for tomorrow night, well, no, that's not happening. And if that happened tomorrow night, I wouldn't agree with it. That's my personal opinion. I would not agree with that. Although I do agree that Piggott is there to
Colin,
go to.
I can hear you already. If you were at the pre-game show, sadly you can't make it, but if you were, I can hear you already in my ear. You would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, if it did come out that Bond being rested, dropped for Piggott, you would say, well, I'm not Paul Cook. I don't see what goes on in training. I'm going to give the lad a chance, the same way you did Edris El-Muzani, because that's you. You're positive.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Die-hard blue and white fan, and you're Mr. Positive. You're back. Whoever, even Ian Crooks, you would have backed in a blue and white shirt. Does it make it right though? I mean, Piggott's a good player, but Bond's surely got a longer leash than a couple of missed chances, has he not?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people might say after what you've just said, Gavin, I get what you just said. A lot of people might be saying I'm being a bit hypocritical there, but I'm not. Cookie's not dropping Bond tomorrow night. There's no way in the world Cookie's dropping Bond tomorrow night.
And I don't think he deserves to be either.
Absolutely, Vic. I mean, his foresight in that game on Saturday. He's knackered. He's done 89.5 minutes, closing down, running here, running there, running there. He's still got it in here. Shh! Don't say anything. Shh! I'm behind you. I'll tell you what. That is a quality player who switched on after 89 minutes. Some players wouldn't have been switched on to do that after 7 minutes. That shows me exactly how much that bloke is thinking the game as opposed, as well as playing the game.
Somebody who we expect to fully make his debut tomorrow at home in the league, and that is Sam Morsey. Colin, how excited are you to see Sam Morsey, and who partners him for you? Is it Edris El-Mizani? Is it Tom Carroll? Is it Lee Evans if he's fit? Is it Raheem Harper? Who partners Sam Morsey for yourself?
Great question. Sam Morsey for me. Oh, well, will he? I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'd say Sam Morsey starts tomorrow night. Who partners him? Probably on Saturday's performance. Probably. I don't know. I'm on the fence here. Probably Carroll, but I wouldn't be surprised if El-Mizani played. I'll tell you what, I thought he had a very good 7 on Saturday. Thought he played well, tackled well. My only concern pre-match on Saturday was, like everybody, like my Ian, like yourself, like Rich, where was the bike going to be? But I'll tell you what, I spoke to Luke Wolfenden after the game, and he said, and we spoke about him, and I said I was very, very surprised about how he got in. He said, no, he's got that in his locker. He said he does that day in, day out. And of course, you see, we don't, like you quite rightly said a minute ago, Gov, we don't see that. And, obviously Paul does. And, really impressed. And his passing was good. His closing down was excellent. He could have maybe had 1 or 2 shots. So it was probably the only minus I'd give him. But, no, he had a good 7 out of 10 for me. Played really well. Raheem Harper,
I think we should have a prediction table of how long it's going to be before Morsey gets a card.
Probably half a game.
I'm going 17 minutes.
Probably half a game, Vic.
Who partners Morsey for yourselves then? Tom, how about yourself? Who partners Morsey for you?
Yeah, Carroll, definitely.
Carroll? Vicky?
Yeah,
I wouldn't argue against that, TJ.
I think just a bit of culture in there, just alongside a bit of grit. I think that will suit us fine.
Yeah. And you're the same, Vicky?
Yeah, I think the same. Although, how do you pronounce it?
I can't do Peter Smith. So El
Martin.
That's it. He
Martin,
did well.
you like a Martin, you
Yeah.
like a stat, you like a statistic, don't you?
Sometimes depends if it suits
We like statistics, especially about that lot down the A140. Right, here we go. Norwich have lost their first 6 Premier League games this season with a goal difference of -14.
Ooh.
The worst ever start at this stage of a season in the competition's history. Open top busk parade.
Colin, you little rascal, you.
We love it, don't we?
We've got Josh Russell. We do absolutely love it. Hopefully, Burnley will turn up for the first time this year on Saturday. Josh Russell, Carroll's not got 100 plus Premier League appearances for no reason. Adam, can't believe Norwich City on BBC One at 5:15 every night this week. Mike Woods, Carroll, 4 minutes for Morsey. Yes, bit of the show. It should be a segment. Goat stats. I actually, if he's fit, I want Evans to come in and play with Morsey. I think their partnership at Wigan was really good. I think the two of them know each other, complement each other, and which is not something we've seen from Evans this year, having a partner that complements him. So that's who I'd go. The GOAT is dropping stats like they're going out of business. Absolutely love it. Worst in the competition's history. Stick that in their program under major honours. Get in the bin. Right, I've got a few teams here for us to rate. Let's kick it off with this one here. We have got Mini Cruncher has brought this lineup. He's gone with Haladki, JD, Fridge, Burgess, Penny, Morsey, Carroll, Chaplin, Fraser, Edwards, and Bond. TJ, rate the lineup from Mini Cruncher here, Archie.
What we got? I think, yeah, that's the same team for me, apart from Chaplin for Burns. So I think that's a good team.
Good team from yourself. But you would have Burns in for Chaplin. Would Chaplin fall to the bench for yourself, or would it be Burns in, Chaplin elsewhere, and somebody else dropping out? How would you see it?
Yeah, so my team is essentially that, just with Burns in for Chaplin. I've got Edwards in, and I'd switch him in for Selena. I think they're both coming. Well, one's getting back to fitness, one's coming back from injury, so maybe just rotate them. And yeah, stick Fraser in the middle with those two holding. I think that's pretty solid lineup to me.
Okay, perfect. Love it. Right, Vicky, for you, I have got, who have I got for yourselves? I've got a Lee Anderson team. This is what Lee Anderson is bringing to the party. Hang on, let me just find it on his timeline. There it is. We've got Halad. Oh, no, I've not shared it yet. My bad. Sorry. Sorry. It does help if I share the screen. There you go. We've got Haladki, Donastian, Edmondson, Burgess, Penny, Carroll, Selena, Morsey, Burns, Fraser, and Bond. So more of what TJ was getting along the lines of going for. Haladki keeps his place. If first of all, what do you make of Lee's team there?
Yeah, that looks half decent.
Is that what you'd go for?
I think so.
Can I ask you a question then? So based on that, Haladki, if Walton is fit, do you stick with Haladki if Walton is fit, or do you put Walton back in goal? Which way? How do you see that?
I think that's a really difficult question because I haven't seen enough of Walton to make that decision. I mean, obviously he had quite a horrific game with Burton's score and he let 5 in.
Bolton,
but I don't know. I just haven't seen enough to make that decision, and I think based on that, I'd have to go with Haladki.
Haladki, okay.
Yeah.
You could also reverse that. You could say, I've seen Haladki. He's had 2 good games recently, but also had a couple of bad games. Whereas Walton, am I putting all the blame at his door for the Bolton score? No. Does that mean he loses his place? Possibly not. It is a tough one. I do.
Yeah.
It's a question that Cook will have to ask at some point.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic response from Haladki, isn't it? Just to come back in and give him this headache now.
Yeah.
You know, just playing so well. Colin, for yourself, I have got. Oh, good God! I've left the best till last. Obviously, I have got for yourself Ipswich Ben Moore. I've got Ben Moore's team here. Obviously, Fantasy King is Ben, so he knows how to pick a team. There you go. You've got Hladky, Danassian, Emerson, Burgess, Penny, Carroll, and Morsey, Selena, Chaplin, Edwards, and Bon. I think he thinks, Colin, Selena can't play 2 games in the space of a couple of days. If Selena can't play a couple of games in a couple of days, as Ben thinks, is it Chaplin coming for in? Oh no, he's got Selena. Hang on, wait, that's even more confusing. He's got Selena there. Selena, Chaplin, and Edwards. So Wes Burns misses out. Talk to me about Ben's team then, Colin. Ghost not happy, Ben. You can tell with the original. He's not happy.
Selena, I would probably like. I totally agree with TJ. I'd swap maybe with Edwards. What's his back for? I can't quite see what's his back for. Danassian,
Edmondson, Burgess, and Penny. That's he's left Penny in. That's an unchanged back 4.
I'm okay with that. So who's he got? Morsey and
Carroll, and then he's got Selena, Chaplin, Edwards, and Bond. Talk to me on Selena though, because obviously he's had the health issues. And I'll just take Ben's the screen there. He's had the health issues. Is it reasonable to expect he can play 2 games in the space of a couple of days? Well, or is it more reasonable to say, look, this is a game he probably should start off the bench? And if he is off the bench, who is taking his position for you?
Well, like I say, I mean, in the perfect world, yes, he'd be able to play 2 games in 3 or 4 days. But I think at the moment, with the issues he's had as regards COVID, the heart problem, and whatever, I wouldn't be, like I said earlier on, Gav, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's 100% fit. I wouldn't be surprised if Edwards started in place of Selena tomorrow, and I would more than expect Selena, especially if it was 2 goals, 3 goals up. I would very much expect Selena maybe to come on last 20 or last quarter of an hour, just for like an extra 15, 20 minutes in the legs. But you know, at the end of the day, bless old Paul Coke's heart. You know, whatever team he selects, we'll back them. We will. I mean, irrespective of what we all say about each other and everything, when we get in them stands tomorrow night, and I'll be a bit late tomorrow night, unfortunately. I might even miss the first 5 minutes, but you know, we will, like we always do, you know, they'll pull a blue shirt on, whoever that will be, even if it was Wolfie at the back instead of Burgess or whatever. We will back them because, you know, we'd have a little moan before the game. Oh, why is he in? Or why is he in? But, you know, we'll back them. And when the whistle blows, you know, we're all Town fans and we'll back them. And
we will back them. But for me, it's got to be 6 points in the next 2 games. Otherwise,
I totally agree with you, Vic. I totally agree. In fact, I'd go further than that, Victoria. I think because it's obviously Doncaster tomorrow, Accrington away, excuse me, and then it's Cambridge, isn't it, Gov?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, that's going to be a difficult game. Do I think it'll be? I think it'll be difficult-ish, but I think that's definitely a game we should be winning. Doncaster tomorrow night, definitely a game we should be winning. And Accrington will be difficult, Vic, but I would be surprised if we don't come away with 3
Cambridge.
points.
It's not. I think it's not. I think it's Shrewsbury then Cambridge. I think it's Shrewsbury then Cambridge.
Oh, sorry, Gov. Well, yeah, even Shrewsbury.
Even
I mean,
it still should be a 3-pointer, shouldn't it? Because
I mean, If that's what we're talking about, Gov, if that's what we're talking about, so in other words, we're talking about Doncaster, Accrington, Shrewsbury, Cambridge. I'd be wanting 10 points minimum out of them 4 games.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I really would. I mean, you know, if what You know, because I'm not going back on what I said. What I said about, you know, beating teams in the top 10. Well, Accrington are up there, you know. So whether we think, oh, who are Accrington Stanley, you can say that or however much you like. But unfortunately, we're in a situation like, who the hell are Cambridge United, you could say. But Cambridge United sit God knows how many points above us. So do Accrington. These are clubs, although they're Mickey Mouse as regards us, these are clubs that we need to be beating right now to get us above them and on the rise. Don't start thinking, I'm not talking about anybody on here, but anybody, don't start thinking of a point at Accrington will do. Well, that would be better than nothing, yes, but do I think we should be winning at Accrington? Yes, I do. Because Accrington, in my opinion, aren't as good a footballing side or as good a squad as Lincoln. And we went there and we quite easily could have been 2 or 3-0 up at half time.
All right.
You know?
So on that basis, back to the task at hand, Doncaster. Let's not look too far ahead because that's when you start falling over teams.
Yeah.
Doncaster tomorrow night. Let's round off with a score prediction. Do not forget we are live tomorrow from the Sir Alf Ramsey statue. Stop by, watch the show. Many do, or get involved and have your say. Likewise, many do. We're live tomorrow from 5 to 7, and then of course, the moment the full-time whistle goes, we'll be live with the Fans React full-time show again from the feet of Sir Alf Ramsey. Colin will be on the show. Hopefully, many more. Hopefully, Mike Brown will be on the show, giving us his thoughts pre and definitely, hopefully, post-game. We hope it's a win. So, score prediction.
Sorry, Gav. I won't be pre-game.
No, I know. You'll be late. Don't worry. Yeah, no, I know. Okay. So, score prediction, please, Colin.
Do you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going 3-0 or 4-0.
Okay. Matt Salan, 5-1 tomorrow. You can see first, then go on a rampage. Ben hopes to get there. 2-0 says Josh. 3-0 says Lee. 2-0 says the Fisherman. 4-0 says Mark Dowling. Vicky, what are you
I'm going to go
3-0.
3-0. Yeah.
Bless you, Vicky. Bless you, my little darling.
TJ.
Donny have lost all of their 5 away games, so I'll go 2-0 Town.
2-0 Town. Okay, I'm getting Northampton vibes. Everyone in the chat, everyone in the chat is getting 3-4-2. You know, clean sheets, goals galore. That always.
What's your predictions then, Martin?
I'll try and reverse psychology here. I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. I think it's gonna be a dire game.
What?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here because when it's all one way. There's been literally a list of games where the chat has said before a game, oh yeah, 3-0, 4-0, dominate. AFC Wimbledon, Northampton, Charlton away, and it was 0-0. And it's just not gone the way the chat has said it has. So that always makes me just sort of...
That was a different team.
No, it was also this year as well. It was also Cheltenham on a Tuesday night. Everyone was saying we should be absolutely rampaging.
Playing devil's advocate is fine, but I hate lying to myself. And so do you.
Yeah,
because you're thinking 2-0, 3-0.
I am.
I know you are.
I know.
You are. You are.
I am.
Yeah.
But I'll take down on the sword.
You're like me, Brett, Gav. You're like me, Vicky, TJ, and the rest of us. You bleed blue, and you are not thinking 1-1.
Oh, no. You don't tell the universe that, do you?
No.
I'm trying to tempt the old girl into, being incorrect. But because safety goes with the 2-0 mob. Well done, Vicky. 2-0 Roy. Ipswich Town's come through with 2-1. That's more of a good score for what we used to. 1-0. Like it. Now we're getting some so results. It's nice. Cox has come through with 2-1. Hopefully he'll be there tomorrow as well. Whatever happens, join us. Whether you're watching from home, like the good Dr. Zach King is. If you're watching on iFollow, you can still join in with the shows on YouTube. There'll still be a live link. Still be a live chat. But we'll be live from Portman Road tomorrow. The only thing left for me to do is to hand over to my good friend and colleague, the Milk Tray Man, to lead us. Welcome to Private Space Therapy, the business of our very own Milk Tray Man, Ben Adams, who's a certified therapist and counsellor, registered with the BACP. Ben's offering appointments face-to-face in Colchester on the beautiful university grounds, or by video, telephone, or even home visit. So if you do feel like you need someone professional to listen, to understand, and to discuss what's going on with you, give Private Space Therapy a call. Private Space Therapy. Non-judgmental, unconditional support with you at the centre. Or